I would like to talk about beaver booties now, if you're up for it.
You're always on about the beaver booties. It's disgusting.
Wait, but I didn't.
But
I didn't take notes of it. So can you look it up?
sure.
Look it up.
There was this guy and this girl, and they wanted to make a podcast, and they didn't know what to call it, but they sure talked a lot, so they said, let's call it Flappity Flap, Flappity Flap Podcast. Yeah.
Hello and welcome. I'm
Hello.
Bossy and Antsy.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do it. Okay, push the thing. You have to push record, not play. That was his exact voice.
You're gonna push record. What? What? What's wrong?
I gotta go. Fuck!
Dumping.
All right.
Hello.
Where were we? Welcome.
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 Weary traveler.
You're weird. So, what you been doing today?
Working. On videos. Recording my voice.
What time did you get up today?
Noon.
Because you went to bed at...
6 a.m.
And why did you do that? That's not an answer.
Because I was a little high.
I get high.
I got a little high and it kept me up.
We got a little high and
Which is
played some
weird,
video
'cause-
games. And I conk
And it was
out
a
and
lot of
Brandon
fun.
stays awake.
Yeah,
So-
not sure why I was wide awake from it. Because it was just the weeds. So yeah.
Go to bed. Go to your bed.
I slept until
Go to bed for
12, which is not super common in this household.
in this household. It did give me a chance to continue binge watching The Crown, season 4, which I'm a bit obsessed with, although it's also quite stressful.
Which, if you don't know, is about
The royal family,
the royal family.
the queen. I mean, it basically circulates around her, but
The British queen.
yeah,
Because aren't there other queens?
of course, yes, I guess so. So I haven't watched any of the other seasons, but I was intrigued because, as I was telling Brandon, it was very much, Charles and Diana were very much the subject of, media, popular culture when I was a youngin'. When I just remember, England for sure, but America too, America's obsession with that, fairy tale that now we know wasn't a fairy tale.
I just remember her death being all over the news.
Yeah, I think
She died in like a tunnel in a limousine crash or something.
Yeah, she was being chauffeured. I forget if
And
they
there was,
ran
like,
into part of the
controversy.
tunnel or...
There was controversy
Yeah.
around it, whether it was like deliberate or something.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that at all. It's a thing that for people, I think, of my,
But there's
and maybe your age.
Yeah. Well, there's
I'm
conspiracy
not
around
finished.
everything.
I'm not finished. That it's like...
Unbelievable.
that it was like...
I'm going to have to get high again and play more video
shut
games
up.
today.
It was kind of like the JFK moment for a lot of people in the 60s where you remember where you were, even though like some would argue that they're nowhere near each other in terms of impact, but a tragic death is a tragic death. But I just remember, I think we traveled to my aunt and uncle's in Cameron Park, and it was very big. VH1 and MTV, that was very big. So we'd like go hang out with them, sometimes spend a weekend, and then be watching like music videos. And I just remember it coming on the news that she had died, and it was like, holy shit.
She was quite young.
She was quite young. She had young kids, and just the idea that she was kind of hounded by the rest of the royal family and in this unhappy, but watching The Crown, obviously, I'm sure they take a lot of liberties, but I think a fair amount of it is quite true, and she's not entirely blameless. She clearly wanted to, they said she was, she knew she was destined for bigger things. And I mean, I think he proposed after not very many dates, and then they hardly saw each other. And it was just like, I don't know, but people are just funny. They're not super aware of like what a healthy relationship is founded on.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if someone's dangling a royal title on you in front of you, that might be hard to turn down or to kind of not be swept up in that.
Mm-hmm.
So just interesting.
Maybe a little bit gold digging.
Yeah, or just, I mean, maybe on some level you think I could do a lot of good with this, but maybe being oblivious also to the dysfunction and just duty kind of more important than your private life and your personal feelings. And it's a very good show. I love Olivia Colman. She is a great English actor.
Is that Scully?
No, that's...
Because she's in it too.
The hell is her name? Now you said Scully, Gillian Anderson. Yeah,
from the X-Files.
She plays Margaret Thatcher, and she's very punchable sometimes.
And she's British.
So is Olivia Colman. So is the Queen.
I thought she was American for the longest time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I definitely thought so too.
Her accent is so spot on.
Yeah. So I think she does a good job. I haven't seen like a lot of footage of Margaret Thatcher, and I think I was very young when she was still Prime Minister, but. A lot of good actors. So yeah, that's what I've been doing with my time while you were sleeping. I was doing something productive, like watching a show and comforting my dog who's having gastrointestinal issues again.
Good for you. Yeah, he was following me around. It was weird. Yeah. He doesn't usually. He never follows me around.
He follows you when he's not feeling well.
Mm-hmm. He comes to me for support.
I think because he thinks he has to be the strong one when it comes to him and me. Like, he's my protector. So he can't have me see him weak when he's ill.
Weird.
He's not at his best, even though I was totally comforting him and, like, massaging his belly forever. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
So there was something else I wanted to... I just wanted to issue a formal apology. Not really like that, but...
What's up?
I was kind of offensive in the last episode, and at first I kind of dug my heels in on it. I kind of was dissing on God and religion a little bit, or Christianity, but and I think it's kind of good sometimes if it's not like super, canceling offensive to leave that stuff in, because it kind of shows it's just real, even though it was like flawed.
I think it's fair to share your opinions and views, but try to do it in a
I'm
way.
just saying leaving that in, because I could have cut it and I could still go back and cut it, but I think it was like showing more that I'm also a real person, and I have moments where I dig my heels in and stamp my feet, and I have a little tantrum or a little moment of ego, and I'm gonna just let that sit out there, and also say that, we know there are hypocritical Christians out there, but there are also really wonderful Christians. I don't believe myself, but I don't want to offend people if I don't have to. I can speak my truth without being offensive, which I think I was. I was definitely a bit harsh and like, I don't care. I don't want to do that, and I do want to be respectful, unless someone is saying something really, advocating something really horrible that I really don't believe in. But I think even then you can say it in a grown-up way, and I don't want to be cruel and hurt someone. I could have said it in a different way.
It definitely changes things knowing people of certain beliefs, and like, it's one thing if you're talking about them and you don't know any. Yeah. And it makes you feel like you can be more cutting or whatever. Right. In your your word choice can be a little more rough, but then when you know a person, it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be so, rude because it hurts their feelings, or. Yeah.
I think sometimes it's like we kind of were debating, you can maybe censor yourself a bit too much, or it takes out a bit of the kind of impromptu, spontaneous nature of it. But with that, it was excessively probably offensive and unnecessary, whereas I could have just kind of said, here's how I feel about it. And so I don't want to be hurtful or alienate anyone, unless you're like a white supremacist or something, which I don't want you listening, Well,
and I get your side of it too, because you kind of were triggered by it. Yeah. Like I'm a little bit triggered by some of the quote unquote Christians that are just like, they just kind of use it.
Yeah.
They use their quote unquote religion as like a tool to like feel superior to other people and to judge other people and to feel like justified in the things that they do. And they're picky and picky choosy of things that they follow. And it's just kind of gross to me.
Right.
So,
and as our friend pointed out, those are not, real Christians.
Those are not actual Christians. Yeah.
So maybe we should say things like, those so-called or hypocritical Christians, or,
That's why I like to do the quotes. Like, because, yeah.
But people can't see your air quotes.
Well, I said quote unquote.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Good job.
Thanks.
My bad. My mistake.
Thanks for
praising
talking
you
about it.
Oh.
And, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. To close the chapter. Close that chapter.
Mm-hmm. Close that book.
Nice. Yeah, that's really that's like a Foley, that's you and your Foley background.
Mm-hmm. So
what you eating? I thought you said you were gonna cheek them.
I was, but they kind of need to go now.
Okay, make sure you're talking consistently into the mic, you freaking amateur.
Okay, so today, are you ready to get into it today?
Ready as I'll ever be.
So I had this idea that I kind of wanted to talk about certain animal products and things that are in products. And
well said. What made you want to do that?
I don't remember. I think I was just thinking about it one day, and
got an itchy ear.
I might have been driving to paper or something and just thought about some kind of product and like, interesting.
Ruminating on stuff.
And then I listened to an episode of MBM Bam, which is another podcast, My Brother and Me, which is an awesome podcast.
Mm-hmm. They're quite big.
And they kind of got into that a little bit. And I was thinking, no way, what a coinky-dink.
Yeah, so he thought of it and then heard that episode and was like,
But it wasn't an episode about it. They had just mentioned like two things maybe. They mentioned the ink. Mm-hmm. And they mentioned the beaver.
Okay. I guess I just wanted to make it clear that we didn't hear them and go, oh, we'll do that too.
And it's completely different because I would like to go over a few topics.
Okay.
Instead of because they were just touching on it. They weren't doing an episode on it.
Okay.
So.
Do it, babe.
I kind of wanted to talk about, I had heard a while back about horseshoe crabs being harvested for their blood.
Okay. I just realized I'm not hearing you in my headphones.
Okay. But I'm up there.
I know, but why is it not coming through my headphones? Are my headphones turned down?
Did you set it to mono?
I think so.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That could be why. You're just not picking me up. Maybe your headphones aren't turned up enough.
Maybe. How do I do that? Is it this one? Oh.
Does that help?
Maybe a little.
Okay.
So. Sorry.
That's fine. Each year, 500,000 horseshoe crabs are captured and bled alive to create an unparalleled biomedical technology.
Wait. Horseshoe crabs are captured and bled alive?
Bled alive.
Like bled to death?
They bleed them out. And I don't know if they kill them. I suppose I could have looked into that. But they were pretty much run to near extinction by the 1970s because they were using them for fertilizer. And there's a photo online of just tons of horseshoe crabs stacked up on the beach and some butthole with a pipe in his mouth.
When you said butthole, like I pictured an actual butthole with a pipe, and then I realized you were talking about a man.
Some overfishing idiot that doesn't understand sustainability.
I'm guessing if the population was decimated, indeed, they do bleed them to death. They don't stop short and go, okay, you go back out into
No, that's a new thing. That wasn't what those are two separate things. They used them back then for fertilizer, and now they're using them for biomedical technology, it's a chemical found only in the amoebocytus of its blood cells that can detect mere traces of bacterial presence and trap them in inescapable clots. So it just traps bacteria.
So they're trying to use that for humans?
I assume so.
So, wow. That would be handy.
So to take advantage of this technology, pharmaceutical companies burst the cells that contain the chemical called coagulogen. Coagulogen. Then they can use the coagulogen to detect contamination in any solution that might come into contact with blood. There are dangerous bacterial endotoxins in the liquid, even at a concentration of 1 part per trillion. The horseshoe crab blood extract will go to work, turning the solution into what scientist Fred Bang, who co-discovered the substance called a gel. So it'll turn it into a gel.
Who will turn it into a gel? What?
The coagulogen. I don't know why I keep saying it that way. I think because
I'm picturing that there's a hyphen.
I think that's the first time I've ever said that word in my entire life. Coagulogen. Okay. This gel immobilized the bacteria but did not kill them. Very interesting. But as we slowly killed off the horseshoe crab population by the 1970s, this is about the fertilizer industry, they declined and had died off. So the fertilizer industry died off.
Good job, you guys.
Which is good because, like, you fucking idiots, like, no care for any sort of sustainability. Just fish them till they're gone. You fucking morons. But harvests picked back up in the 1990s when fishermen realized they could use the crabs as bait for catching large snails called whelk. So they're using a near endangered species to catch whelk.
Smart.
Which is a fucking snail. Why do people want to eat whelk anyway? What's wrong with people?
Hey, Sean Locke wanted to eat 30 of them.
He didn't want to.
I know.
He placed a wager that he could eat 100 whelks.
100 or 30?
I think it was like 100.
I think it was like 30.
I don't remember.
I can't wrap my head around 100 because he looked, ew. Yeah, and then he was like burping. Yeah.
Burping up
Look
whelks.
up 8 out of 10 cats, Sean Locke whelks.
Yeah.
Or don't if you don't want to be grossed out.
L-O-C-K. He is really funny. The American horseshoe crab, also known as the The Atlantic horseshoe crab, also known as the American horseshoe crab, is a species of marine brackish chelicerated arthropod. Despite their name, horseshoe crabs are more closely related to spiders, ticks, and scorpions than they are to crabs. Isn't that crazy?
Really? That's weird.
And they don't look like any of those. They look like a crab because they have a giant carapace that like covers their back.
Is that why they're more... Yeah, but spiders don't have a carapace, do they?
I'm saying it's interesting because they have a big carapace on their back. They definitely resemble crabs more.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion.
Okay, sorry. I was getting snotty. I was wrong.
That's okay. I don't know what your problem is today, so...
Oh, are you kidding me? You fucking sleep a noon day guy.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to shame you for something.
To shame me?
Trying to shame you because I got nothing else. Carry on, you nerd.
So that's pretty much it about the horseshoe crab.
What is it in the horseshoe crab that made them good for fertilizer?
Oh, and they have baby blue blood. I don't know if I mentioned that already.
Like always or as babies?
It looks like... What?
Baby blue.
Baby
I don't know,
blue,
because
like
when
the
you started to
is,
say...
The color is
I
baby
know,
blue.
but when you said baby blue, I thought, oh, maybe they grow out of it and then they have red blood.
The color is... It's the color of like...
What is baby blue? Like powder blue?
It's like if you mixed blue Captain Crunch in some milk. It's very milky looking. It's pretty crazy.
Thank you for that.
We need to stop fishing these creatures.
What is it?
Let them have a comeback.
Hey, what is it about the horseshoe crab that makes them good for fertilizer?
I don't know. I didn't look that part up.
Okay, why don't you remedy that right now?
Oh, it's such a long article.
Just do a Command F.
I don't even...
And search for fertilizer.
Okay. Command
Oh my
F.
gosh, I'll just look it up on my phone.
Fertilizer. Horseshoe crab harvest for... You... They only talk about it once in the article, and it just mentions how they The biomedical collectors are not the first to make... Okay. As far back as colonial times... So this was in colonial times that there were overfishing. Hence the dingus in the freaking scarecrow hat and corncob pipe. It was a cancerin fertilizer, so like a crab type of fertilizer, even though it's not a crab or not related.
This says
crabs. It was used to enrich fields in the 20th century. Though this became an organized industry around the Delaware Bay. The crabs were steamed, and then ground into meal for the fields. Others were fed to hogs. Millions of crabs were harvested. The picture is just devastating. It's just a beach covered in mounds of dead crabs. Like, what the fuck? If you could go back in time and just beat all these people, it would be worth it. How could anybody think that this was a sustainable thing?
I don't think they cared.
I know, which is why they should die. Well, they're probably dead by now, so perfect. And I can't believe they're still catching them, even though they're like near extinction. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, at what point is a species protected? And they got them hooked up. They got them hooked up to these bottles, just bleeding them in. Bleeding them into the bottles. It's so fucked up.
Oh, I think they're saying that when they bleed them now, they don't bleed them to death. They return the animals to their native habitat with a little less blood and one hell of an abduction story.
Oh, well, that's good. Also, that's more sustainable. I wonder if they clean everything, too, before, during the whole process, or if they're just giving all of them all the diseases they have. Because it says that the gel covers bacteria, right? And not diseases. I don't know. I don't know anything. Anyway.
Okay, weird.
Fun little weird thing.
All right. What else you got?
I don't know.
Really? I thought you just did a whole list.
I did.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on 1 second. So...
That was beautiful.
Condoms. Traditionally, condom production has included the addition of casein, a protein found in animal milk, which acts as a lubricant. Some brands like Glide, however, have gone vegan. Weird.
A protein found in animal milk.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Let's get some of that.
And
this does taste kind of weird. Maybe it's mildew.
I think that apple has gone bad.
Ah, shit.
And in sugar, the refining process for both white and brown sugars often use bone char, a granular material from animal ashes. It gives sugar its white color.
What?
Yeah. So if you're eating certain kinds of sugar, you're not a true vegan.
Why would it be used in brown sugar as well then?
I think it's just because it's a way to refine the sugar.
Oh, I thought you said it gives it its white color.
I guess that's just part of it. That's not me talking. That's what other people have said.
Well, so I watched a documentary on which one was that? On the keto
diet.
The keto diet, and I think a lot of people, like with any diet, anyone on the other side of it will say it's like propaganda or doesn't give you the full story. But if even some of it was true, they were just saying, and that it might not necessarily be about keto diet itself, is about eliminating refined, complex carbohydrates and refined foods and whatever that means exactly. I'm not really sure. But like it was very helpful in modifying behavior of children with autism. And, one lady said her cancer went into remission and, but
for your brain.
Yeah. But I think that
the fats.
I think this is the same documentary where someone was talking about, there's a lady talking about trying to go vegan and how difficult it was because if you want to have your own garden, you end up buying things like not bone broth. What is it you call, it's like bone dust, but it's, the phrase escapes me.
Just move on and I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
And because
bone meal.
Yes, Jesus Christ. It's like we use it in Minecraft, I feel like.
Yeah.
But she said because, and that's when she kind of realized that, veganism for her, it was kind of hypocritical, or it's not
pure.
Achievable.
Yeah.
And that the natural way is not to have these mass farms or ranches, but to have like a single cow or a few, grass feed them, because in nature, and obviously this doesn't necessarily happen unless, I guess you can harvest those parts of the animal when you go to quote unquote process it or slaughter it, butcher it, whatever, that maybe you can then use it for your garden. But because she said what happens is the animals die, and then as they break down, they become a part of the soil, and their remains, including bones, feed the soil and become part of the nutrients or whatever, convert. Again, there's a lot of science, but I just thought it was such an interesting idea that she said, I struggled so hard to make my vegan diet and my vegan, my garden thrive, and I had to resort to animal products still.
But I get what you're saying, but I think it's definitely different if you're raising these animals and killing them and using part of their body for whatever kind of products. Like that's different from obviously just a cow or something dying.
Yeah.
And then it, feeding the earth.
Mm-hmm.
This is farming, and big gross mass farming.
Yeah, I know. I'm not an advocate of that.
No, I just thought you were saying that she was saying that it's kind of okay because the animal's going to be going into the soil
No,
anyway.
I think immediately before that, I said if you have like one or a few cows, steer, whatever, that you're raising on your own, as like that's your animal that then you're going to butcher and, live off of through the next year or whatever, like not a big farm ranch. But it was really kind of irrelevant to what you're talking about, except for the bone thing, which was just interesting. So I just thought it was interesting that, and I think like when I was watching that documentary, I know I keep talking about it, but David Attenborough was saying, we need to move to a plant-based diet is, maybe you have protein or beef or whatever, but it's not such a huge part of your diet. And like,
we could definitely dial it back. There are people that have a hamburger every fucking day, and it's like, you don't need that, really. And I've done it before. We just don't need it.
Excuse me. But yeah, if you have like one cow, or we bought like a quarter of a steer, I think, and it's full in our freezer, and it's from a friend who has a ranch, and they're all grass fed, homegrown. They have a few head, and it tastes different. Amount. It definitely tastes different. Yeah.
But there are folks that go to like fast food restaurants, and they'll have a burger like every day, maybe even 2. And it's like, that is so much beef consumption.
Yeah.
It's unnatural, and it's
I feel sick when I eat that much. Even when I eat like a steak, this homegrown steer steak, I'm like, it's a lot of meat. It doesn't feel natural.
No, I think it's probably terrible for your body.
I think supplementing it or having it maybe every few days might be right. I mean, I feel like I just made ground beef with that chili, and it's like my body is immediately rejecting it. Something about the Amy's chili, I love it, but my body like is rejecting it. Anyway, the bone meal thing, I just thought that was fascinating. Fascinating. So, condoms and bone meal, check.
Downy, the detergent Downy.
The bear, the cute little bear.
Endorsed by the...
Or is that Downy?
Snuggly child? What?
He's a bear.
He's a bear, yeah. What?
Oh my gosh.
What is wrong? I didn't write this. Somebody
His voice
else
is
wrote
a child, because obviously bears don't talk.
Endorsed by the Snuggly child? What the fuck?
That's weird.
It contains dehydrogenated tallow dimethyl ammonium chloride, or a derivative of rendered cattle, sheep, and horse fat mixed with ammonium. This process creates a quaternary ammonium compound, or a quat, which basically coats your clothes in lipids, making them feel soft. So your clothes feel soft thanks to animal fats if you use Downy.
Beautiful.
Okay, that's why their mascot is a bear.
No, I don't think...
Because bears...
I think we're getting our detergents.
Because bears kill sheep and cattle? I don't think they do. I'm just talking.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
No. What? Why snuggle?
Downy.
Now when you look up Downy, it's a baby. It is a baby.
Oh. What the hell were we thinking of then?
Well, they're calling it Snuggle. It's like it broke off into its own brand. I thought it was Downy. I'm so confused.
Okay. That's weird.
Oh, so Snuggle fabric softener. Snuggle is a brand of fabric softener. I think Downy...
Oh, okay. Downy is the detergent and Snuggle is... Okay.
Downy does have like a
So they threw us off with child. They threw us off with their wordage.
Weird. I did not think it... Why did I not think it was called Snuggle? Look at it.
Because they said...
Look at this evil-looking Snuggle bear.
I don't like it. He's got like cat's eyes.
I don't like it. Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Bears aren't supposed to have cat's eyes.
Did you see that meme that was like, this is Chucky as a 40-year-old man? And he's got like this weird like red and gray stubble, and his eyebrows are like kind of gray, I think. And let's see. Chucky. Is Chucky spelled with a Y? Chucky as
I think so.
A middle-aged
I always hated the Chucky movies.
Why? Yeah.
Not because they're scary, but because they're so fucking stupid.
Look at you being
I mean, I know. It's just because he's a tiny little doll. Like, you really can't overpower a doll. He's supposed to have super strength or something, but like he's still only like maybe 10 pounds. You could bash him against a wall really easily. I mean, you could flail him around and just smash him on everything.
I can't find it now.
I'm sorry, but no matter how strong he is, you could absolutely overpower him. Just by his weight. You could punt him into a fireplace.
There's a Chucky Facebook page. Just trying to not accidentally like that. But I'm trying to find the goddamn... Oh, here it is. Oh my god, it's so good.
Is it really? I can't imagine it being good. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is good. But I think it's good because it looks like fuck.
Let me see. I want to try to guess who you're thinking
something
of.
McDonald. Michael McDonald or like
the soft rock kind of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there guy.
Yeah. Like Michael McDonald or what is that character that Will Sasso plays that's like a rednecky kind of guy?
I don't know. I don't know him like you do.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
I forget his name. He's also a musician, but I can't freaking remember his name.
It's so good. He's just got like a white and his nicely combed hair. So good.
Kenny Rogers.
Oh yeah.
He looks like Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
But he looks like friendly. I think that's what I think is so funny about that Chucky.
Absolutely. He's grown up from his childhood shenanigans.
He's over it. He's a friendly guy now. He wants to drink some Jack with you.
Oh, that was a weird... That came quite naturally to your lips.
What?
So I don't know. It's just... Sometimes it's just pure inspiration, what comes out of your mouth, my friend.
Oh. Okay.
No, I meant it.
Plastic bags. Many plastic, like commercial shopping.
I thought you were going to say that's what I want to stick over your head right now. Just kidding.
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Why would I want to do that?
Because I was being kind of rude or something. What, plastic bags?
That would be an extreme reaction. Okay. Like commercial shopping bags contain chemicals often referred to as slip agents, which are derived from the stearic acid in animal fat. They essentially prevent the polymers from sticking to metals during manufacturing and clinging to each other afterward. I'm not good at reading. Some bike tires also contain these elements. So bike and car tires also contain stearic acid.
But
it's like a pun.
Not a very good one.
I know. You have anything to add about that?
No, this is your show today. This is your show. Maybe pick some that are more interesting and entertaining instead of just, doing just a straight list.
Okay.
Red candy? What's in red candy?
One I kind of know about is not just red candy, but red coloring. Mm-hmm. Red cochineal beetles.
I just looked it up and there was like 3 different ways to pronounce it. So, Kenny Rogers / Bill Clinton. Are they the same person?
I think they might be the same beetles used to make red tattoo ink. And maybe that's partially why people are so crazy allergic to it. I have no idea the science behind it, but
I didn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I read that like...
Aren't some women allergic to red lipstick? I think
I have never worn red lipstick, so I don't really know people who do, so I don't know. But I do remember seeing that Starbucks had apparently used the beetles in like their raspberry frappuccinos or some of their raspberry drinks, and people were I think they were just up in arms because they didn't want beetle extract.
What?
Beetle extrappuccino.
You don't want to drink beetle juice? Beetlejuice? What
are you doing, you fool? It's okay, though, because I know that you were saying it as if it was spelled Juice because we were talking about the juice of a beetle,
and
as opposed to
Joose.
No, it's Geuse or Guese.
Huh.
It's like Beetlegeuse.
Geuse? That's juice. Goose.
Sure, okay.
Beetlejuice.
In what country? What was that thing on Spitting Image? Fee, fi, fo, country. Yeah. I'm going to live in your country or something.
It's when Vice President Pence is making his like children's books for
was it?
Scared right-wing Americans.
Oh.
Fee. So like Jack buys some beans or something because he doesn't want to eat meat because he's vegan or something. And then he throws some beans in the back and they're like, oh, it grew a beanstalk. And then there's a giant that comes down and he's like, fee, fi, fo, country. I'm going to live in your country.
It's so funny.
And it's voiced by Bender.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's funny. The same guy that does Bender's voice and Jake the dog.
Oh my gosh. It just kind of hit us out of nowhere and tickled our funny bone.
Yeah, you have to check out Spitting Image if you haven't.
You have to.
They're
especially
so good.
when Trump is leaving booby traps for Biden.
Biden.
How'd you like purple nurples, Biden?
It's me, you idiot.
The way they do Putin, the puppet, and just, it's so good. He's tiny. He's a tiny
so
man with like
insulting.
these squinty little, kind of beady little shadowed eyes.
Tiny little eyes. Yeah. Little shrimp eyes.
It's so rude. But I think, it's okay.
It's good. I love it.
It's so good.
Well, they're rude to all of them. It's not like they're just picking one person out and going, well, I mean, they kind of did with that Scottish guy who's got a dick and balls for a face.
Michael Gove or something, or some kind of, Well, that's true. I guess
they're all hideous.
I guess
but
they
he's
do make fun of their
bad.
physicalness a lot.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, back to red candy. Unless you want to talk more about that.
No.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So red cochineal beetles.
Cochineal, someone said, or cochineal.
Beetles, when dried and crushed, produce a powder called carmine, which is used as an all-encompassing dye in red foods like candy, ice cream, and yogurt, though it previously slipped under the radar as artificial coloring. Oh!
Slipped under the radar. Someone slipped a 50 in someone's, or a 50 mil in someone's pocket.
The FDA has required manufacturers to explicitly list carmine on food labels since early 2011. Maybe because some people are allergic to it.
Do you think, have you looked up...
Oh, and we got to talk about beaver butts. Beaver booties.
Okay. Have you looked into that for your red tattoo ink?
I think that might be partially why.
Because if that's the case, Brandon is definitely allergic.
What's it called? Carmine?
I don't know.
Carmine.
Ooh, are those red macarons?
Because the tattoo ink is not regulated by the FDA, which is a scary thing.
Is it regulated by anybody?
I don't
That is scary.
believe so.
How can that possibly be?
The FDA are the ones that are supposed to be regulating it, but they don't for some weird reason. So... Crimson. Let's see if we can find some info.
So Brandon was a tattooer for 4 years?
Yeah.
Or an apprentice, or anyway, he was tattooing people, and his boss was doing a tattoo, right? On him with red ink, and it was like done in stages, and by the second or third, he was starting to have like a more severe reaction every time.
So I got this one on my wrist, I think first, and it healed fine. It was perfect. And then I got the one on my ankle, and it healed up a little weird and was giving me trouble. And then this one on my upper forearm was like, nope, not having it. I just slowly became horribly allergic to it. It took me probably 2 months to heal up from it. And
That's a
to
long
give you a
time.
perspective, normal heal time for a tattoo is like a week and a half. So,
And it was like blistery, or just like, how do you tell it's not healing?
it was just not healed, just angry, trying to scab, just looked like shit, puffy. And of course my boss could only be bothered to finish part of it because she was too busy talking and
Being important.
not focusing on.
So it's still not finished.
On it. So I have this half-done tattoo that I'm like, I don't want to finish this now because it's going to be so angry for months.
And you're not a tattooer.
I'm not a tattooer
Yeah.
anymore.
And so why do you think, because
I might have you do it if you wanted to.
Yeah, but you said you didn't want to because of the reaction.
And I just don't really care that much.
Yeah.
I don't really.
And you're not tattooing.
It's not a priority.
If you're tattooing people, it's more important that you have completed good tattoos.
Which is funny because that doesn't even matter. But there are so many people out there, clients, that would be like, you don't have any tattoos that I can see, or you're not covered in tattoos. You must not be a good tattooer. It's like, that is not what you should be thinking.
Well,
because there are plenty of bikers that are garbage tattooers.
Yeah.
But they're covered. You know, like the biker type.
But at least you can look at their tattoos and be like, did you do that one yourself? If you did,
No,
I am not having.
Probably not.
Well, my mom and I have talked about this before, where it's like if you go to a hairdresser and she has a shit haircut, you don't want her cutting your hair.
But it doesn't really apply to tattooing because, you know, typically...
Is it because other people are usually doing your tattoos?
Typically it's other people doing their tattoos. But you've done a few of your own. Yeah, but I think a lot of people just have other people do them. And it's just not a good way to go into it, thinking, oh, this person has no tattoos or almost no tattoos, so they must be shit.
Well, but I think if you pull out your book and you go, here's my portfolio, and it's like, wow, these are really good. Okay. You know, which is what is more important.
I just still encountered that. Like I started out with just tattoos on my legs, and, you know, so many people were like, where are all your tattoos? I'm like, on my legs. And why is it? I guess I get why it's so important.
Or you're kind of advertising your trade or whatever.
Yeah, but I advertise my trade in my portfolio. And it just got annoying because it's like there are plenty of people covered in tattoos that are not good at tattooing.
Yeah, that's true.
That are bad at it. And they don't give a fuck about you.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's steer away from that topic, clearly.
Anywho, I couldn't really find anything conclusive about Carmine?
Did you search the cochineal or whatever beetle and red ink? If it's not regulated by the FDA, to me that says they don't have to say what's in it.
Exactly.
So that's scary. Probably why you're not seeing anything.
And it kind of makes you possibly rethink getting it.
Finishing it?
Here's a thing. No, just getting tattoos in general.
Oh, well, you're not going to get any more anyway, right? You seemed a bit disillusioned with that whole...
Oh, my goodness. On May 15th, 2019, the FDA has recalled Solid Ink Diablo Red manufactured by Color Art Incorporated.
Is that what you had?
Because it has been contaminated with microorganisms.
Is that what you had? Do you know what kind?
I had a really expensive brand.
Okay, that's like an X-Files episode where Scully gets... Actually, this guy has a tattoo, and it's like there's a parasite in the... I think they say... I probably told you about this. I think they even figure out that the dye comes from a certain bug or plant that has parasites, and then the parasites get into, you know, the skin, and then they're like making this guy crazy. He kills at least one person, and then Scully's kind of romantically getting involved with him, and he convinces her to get a tattoo, and she's having like a near orgasmic experience getting her tattoo, and then they're both like kind of going a little crazy. And the voice of his tattoo, it's kind of like a Betty Page tattoo or something. The voice is Jodie Foster. It's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird episode. It was fun. As if Scully would get a tattoo. She's such a square. I love her, but she's a square. Are you even listening to me over there?
No, I'm trying to find this info.
Did you hear that, folks? Are you even listening to me? No, I'm not. Hey, did you even hear me that time when I...
So
you're the worst.
I'm sorry. I thought I was giving you your time so I could then look up some info.
Yeah, but I'm talking to you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to the
who's the butt?
To the audience.
Disgusting.
So red tattoo ink contains iron oxide, also known as common rust.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Cinnabar and cadmium pigments. And cadmium pigments are highly toxic. Oh
my gosh.
Naphthol reds are than the other pigment.
You are a really good reader.
Well, it's this font is just awful. But all reds carry risk of allergic or other reactions. It's like the letters are stuck together.
Weird. So you have like some kind of metal poisoning now?
Probably.
Wait, what is rust exactly? It's oxidized,
like literal
iron.
Rust?
Iron?
I guess so.
Sorry, you probably just read it and then I guess I wasn't the one listening that time.
Somebody wasn't listening?
Yeah, but you did it first, so
I know.
I have a valid.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay. So I would like to talk about beaver booties now if you're up for it.
You're always on about the beaver booties. It's disgusting.
Wait, but I didn't I didn't take notes of it. So can you look it up?
Sure.
Look it up.
So fucking rude. Look it up.
Look it up. Castoreum. Castoreum is also used in some perfumes.
I think they said it's more likely to be used in perfumes now because it's so expensive to harvest.
And also people probably don't want to be eating it. And it comes from beaver's castor sacs, a gland located between the animal's pelvis and the base of its tail. It squirts out of its booty hole.
It says that Cadbury cream eggs contain it, or did. It might be that they changed it now. Cadbury's cream eggs. I'm so glad I don't like those.
Who wants some beaver anus eggs?
Beaver butt up.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
I don't understand.
Order up, Squidward. I don't know. Castoreum.
I don't understand the joke you're trying to make.
Shut up.
Shut your shut up right the hell up.
So, yeah. Do you want to just read this article? Because
you go for it.
Oh.
I'm bad at reading, remember?
You're bad at speaking. I'm bad at writing.
Well, then you do it.
I'm just kidding. You're not.
Then you do it.
Beavers use...
Then you do it.
So they exude it out of their butt glands, but it's stored in their castor sacs, which I think
they don't harvest it from their booty hole. They harvest the sac and then they use the sac.
But clearly the way that someone discovered that it's got this lovely
is somebody stuck their tongue in it.
Is someone accidentally, I don't know, licked a rock or something that they wiped their booties on. You just love thinking about how some of this stuff gets discovered. Like, how did that happen?
Like a beaver farts in somebody's face and they go, that smells good.
That's got a nice, sweet... that would go good with my, whiskey or something.
I've got an idea. They used to rub the dried stuff on cigarettes.
Yeah.
To give them a sweet flavor.
They use it in combination with urine to scent mark their territory. So then I think they would, they started killing beavers to take their castor sacs, which are quite larger than I expected.
More harvesting of animals.
Yeah. And take the castoreum
for their butthole sacs.
To use in food products. But they were saying that compared to...
it was in vanilla
it was
ice
like
cream.
A vanilla substitute.
Yeah. Because vanilla beans come from Madagascar, I guess.
They're very expensive.
To import.
They're very limited supply and expensive to import. But they were saying that now the amount of castoreum that's actually exported is super small compared to worldwide vanilla consumption.
Because I think...
What did I say?
You said exported. Because I think...
Used, whatever.
Beavers are in America and Canada.
Okay. So the amount of it maybe sold for use in food or perfume products is very small.
Yeah.
Because I think they're picking up on the public's distaste for beaver,
anal glands?
Anal glands.
I mean,
even though they don't, harvest it through the anus, instead they kill the beaver and take their castor sacs.
It's still like, I would pay you extra to give me vanilla bean over a freaking beaver anus gland. And also, why are you killing beavers?
And also, I like vanilla, but I just feel that I can do without it if that's the cost. Mm-hmm. Beaver butts or beaver deaths to take the stuff that's stored in those sacks.
From now on, I'm going to be checking ingredients just to, and they always have such inconspicuous little sneaky names like Castorium.
Well, it does come from the castor sack, so it's not that sneaky.
Carmine. Yeah, but they need to just call it outright and say beaver anus glands.
Beaver batorium.
No, not even that.
Oh.
Beaver butthole glands is what they need to call it.
Butthole extract. Like they call it vanilla extract.
Yeah, exactly. But that way, whenever some normal person is reading an ingredients list, they never know what the hell any of it is. Gesundheit. I think you may have exploded the
That's okay.
Or not exploded. You may have maxed out.
Oh, yeah. See, they don't want to say exactly where it is in food.
Yeah, you got to read the back of your things.
So, yeah, I think, ice cream, some types of ice cream. But the list, I think, was shrinking. And it was mostly a perfume thing because it just wasn't sustainable otherwise. It's like I think because they can synthetically manufacture another vanilla substitute. But, yeah. Oh, look at that cute little beaver. Aw. You should be free to smear your butt in the wild as God intended.
Are you eating beaver butt secretions? Natural raspberry flavor, aka Castorium. They were called...
they were able to call it.
It's in Haribo berries, those berries that I love.
Not the ones that I like, though, right? Look up the happy cherries or whatever.
It's in those Haribo berries?
Haribo.
Wait, no, hold on. I gotta check this.
All right, I'll check the berries, the cherries.
Oh, no, please, no. I love those.
They're Haribo.
They're actually made with...
You ate a fair amount, too.
Oh, no. Why do you get enjoyment out of that?
I don't know.
They're in jelly beans, apparently.
Shit. What about Jelly Bellies?
Jelly Bellies. Yeah, they're in Jelly Belly jelly beans, I believe.
Here's the thing.
Haribo gummy candy. Luckily, this old-fashioned candy is more likely to be enjoyed by neighbors. Blah, 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 blah. Castorium is a secretion from the anal glands of beavers that is often found in berry and vanilla flavoring, but it is allowed to be listed as natural flavoring because anything derived from plants or animals can be deemed natural. The the FDA deemed it safe, but many consumers still get goosebumps when they realize that they're drinking or eating beaver anal juices.
So look here, this is what concerns me in the Haribo Happy Cherries. Oh, no. I was laughing at you, but now I see contains less than 2% of citric acid, artificial and natural flavors. Palm oil, palm kernel oil. So less than 2%. So that practically whole bag of Happy Cherries I ate, less than 2%. But juice.
I can't believe my favorite candy contains fucking... That was like...
You know what?
I
think that's kind of okay because they are disgusting. They're like
so good.
Weirdly, they're like the worst candy you could like. They're like Turkish Delight.
I brought them
the worst kind of Turkish Delight.
I told my
with
family
little beads on them.
So when I went to Oregon, I told my family about them, and they went out and bought multiple bags of them. I ate an entire bag. They ate like an entire bag or two of them. They loved them.
Time to send a family email.
Oh my gosh. What have I done?
You should totally do an illustration of a beaver like pooping out those berries. Candy corn?
The Castorium isn't in candy corn, but something is. Candy corn, Starburst, candy worms. This one hits home for many because nothing rings in the Halloween season like a big old bowl of candy corn. Unfortunately, the treat not only has a sugary yet addictive unnatural taste, it also contains gelatin,
sugary.
A thickening agent made up from protein collagen. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same as in like Jell-O and shit. Mm-hmm. It's made from like horse hooves or something, right? But considering
is it still, or is that like an urban myth?
It's extracted from animal skin and bones. Many vegetarians.
But the animal died naturally, right?
May now want to steer away from candy that uses gelatin, including candy corn starburst.
Shit, we have a whole bag of candy corn. Who gave you the candy corn anyway?
My parent, or not my parents.
Your grandma?
Your
Meemaw?
Yeah, my mom.
Your Meemaw or your mama?
I don't know.
I do love bubblegum.
Bubblegum gumballs.
Shit.
Lanolin is a term for the oil sheep produce in their wool. Sheep sweat.
It's not really. It's not really sheep sweat.
It's used as softeners in food.
I don't mind that because I think it's also used in like soaps or other maybe cleaning agents, and it's nice because actually when we used to shear our sheep, it would kind of get on your hands, and with all the washing, your hands get really dry, but the lanolin kind of keeps them a bit oily. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Carmine,
I just think of Carmine Falcone.
The color from crushed beetles is used in Nerds candy, Wonka Nerds candy.
Well, I don't eat Nerds anymore.
I really like worms.
I only date them.
Worms, Nerds too.
Ching.
What?
I said I don't eat Nerds. I only date them.
What is that?
What do you say?
Ching.
What do you say? Oh. Okay, or bazinga.
Or bazinga. Bazinga is also appropriate.
I think I need a truffle.
Acceptable. Then
I can do the truffle shuffle.
Butterfingers. This peanut buttery treat is...
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
That is the slogan. We're not sponsored. Is a hard one for many chocolate...
I don't even like Butterfinger that much.
...lovers to avoid, but not only does Nestle's burger Butterfinger pack on the fat and sugar. I lost what I'm saying. It also uses a petroleum-derived form of butane. Butane. I said butane as a food preservative. Ooh, gross.
Weird. That's like in lighters, right?
Yeah,
is it a inflammatory? It's a inflammatory agent. I don't know. Or what do you call it? Accelerant? Don't me. Butyl hydroquinone.
Or TBHQ lurks in these sweet treats, and
preservative.
And the preservative has actually been ruled lethal in quantities of 5 grams or more. So, you better not
goodbye, Butterfingers.
You better not lay a finger on Bart's Butterfinger.
On anyone's
or
Butterfinger.
It'll kill you. If you have 5 grams or more. How much?
It'll blow you up.
I can't even think of how much 5 grams is.
I don't know.
5 grams to pounds. Right? Bounds.
Sure.
I don't know why I wrote bounds. Oh my gosh, what? Grams to pounds. 1 gram is 0.002 pounds? So they must use a very small amount.
What is a gram? Like a few chocolate chips or something? If that?
It's a very tiny amount.
We're learning every day.
So the preservative has actually been ruled lethal in quantities of 5 grams or more.
Butane?
Yeah, I guess so. Or
uses a
butyl hydroquinone. These names that people come up with.
It's science, dear.
It's a long name. It's science. How about this?
They ran out of normal names.
How about this?
Okay.
Crayons. As part of a rendering industry, which disposes of otherwise unused animal waste, the creation of crayons often includes animal fat, according to a 2004 congressional report. Paraffin is the main ingredient in the most popular crayons, but not many would expect mammalian byproducts in a children's art supply.
So it's fat? There's fat in them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
That kind of makes sense.
Because there is in soap, right?
Well,
I guess it depends on the soap.
And there is definitely like a waxy feel.
Yeah. The paraffin I absolutely get. And the fat, I'm not surprised at all. I don't find that really surprising or
Yeah.
And I don't eat crayons, and I don't really use them other than that. The not eating.
Oh, nail polish. A lot of the pearlescence colors in nail polish is made from herring scales. Fish scales.
Oh, you were saying you thought there were fish scales used in stuff.
I think there's fish scales used in toothpaste.
Why? Just to be more abrasive and scrub stuff off?
No, it's for color. It's for look. to give it a glistening look.
That's so stupid. How stupid are we?
Yeah, but come on.
How susceptible are we?
But come on. Look at what we've done with all these other things like color. Crushing beetles to make a fucking color.
I guess I do. I don't know. I think if
that's okay.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I guess if you put a picture of a cherry on a package and then you had just a bunch of like translucent candies that tasted like candy cherries, I would still eat them. But maybe not. The red is very attractive. I feel so stupid now. I feel so manipulatable. I'm able to be manipulated. Carry on. I'm done. You have the floor.
I think I just have one more that's interesting.
Okay.
Edible shellac, also known as confectioner's glaze, coasts most hard candy, with a notable exception of M&Ms. It's made from the excretions of female lac bugs.
What? Female what?
Whoa. So they shellac a lot of candies with bug
exoskeleton?
Bug excretions.
What is the bug called?
Lac bugs. Female lac bug.
Can you spell that? Because
LAC.
Weird.
I'll look it up real quick.
Oh.
It just looks like a beetle. It looks like a shield bug.
So it's an excretion?
Mm-hmm. And they use it to coat candy to make it all glistening good.
To make it glistening or kind of make it like impermeable to like moisture or something?
It probably has both.
If it's really just for the eye appeal, I do think that's kind of shameful.
We do so much for eye appeal.
When did that start? When did that BS start?
I don't know. Probably like the 60s, 50s. Probably like the 50s. Because think about all the candies. I mean, they all have to be all colorful.
They started marketing to children.
Because, if there was no color in any of it, it'd all be like brown.
Yeah.
Which would be perfectly fine because you eat it.
Yeah. I definitely, as a kid, it's a kid thing. But then it also does carry over, I think, into adulthood if you were duped as a child. Because I definitely remember seeing Lucky Charms and or Captain Crunch berries and being like, oh, yeah, gotta have that. Because the colors are like, colored marshmallows in my cereal? What's not to love?
I guess that's true. It'd be nice if we could just...
What, the kids are stupid? Yeah.
Yeah, it'd just be nice if we could grow out of it.
It'd be nice if there were regulations. But, I mean, I think there's more now, but...
Here's a crazy one. Bagels.
How did you say that?
Bagels?
It just sounded like you said bagels.
Bagels. As in like...
Bagels.
The savory version of a donut.
Like you were saying bagels.
Bagels. Mm-hmm. A chemical in L-cysteine, a chemical in bread products, is mostly from bird feathers with some human and hog hair mixed in. What the fuck?
What is this for? What does this do for the bagel?
Well, companies can make synthetic LCs for short. It's an expensive process. Most of the industry used chemical... What? Most of the industrial... Oh my gosh, I'm falling apart. Industrially used chemical is extracted from animals and used in products like bagels and Lunchables, according to Mother Jones. Don't know who or what that is.
Click on it and it'll probably tell you.
Ugh.
It's probably like some, public, whistleblowing type informative. Here's what not to feed your children.
Bird feathers, human, and hog hair mixed in.
Where does the human... How do you go about harvesting that and saying, well, we need it for a food product?
We need it for our bagels? What? It's in bread products, apparently. That is so strange. And then I just have one more after this.
Okay.
Cigarettes. Hemoglobin derived from pig's blood is, or at least once was, included in some cigarette filters. So you're breathing smoke through a pig blood clot.
Oh. I mean, isn't your bagpipe made with sheep's bladder or something? It's
made out of a stomach, I think.
Yes. I mean...
A bladder would be a really tiny bagpipe.
I don't know.
I had to cure it when I first got it. I had to like fill it with alcohol and shake it around and
weird.
Yeah.
I still haven't heard you play the bagpipes.
And sometimes like the little seal inside was starting to break, and sometimes it would puff me back in the face. Ew. And I'd get a real good whiff of what was going on inside.
Well, it's probably just like your spittle and breath, fermented, right?
Inside a sheep's stomach. Yeah.
Okay.
I should probably throw it away.
Oh.
Because it's probably like growing mushrooms by now or something.
You could maybe take it to someone who could professionally clean it for you, and then you could even just like display it. We could hang it on the wall or something. That might be cool.
Could do. It's a decent bagpipe.
Just the one pipe.
Uh-huh.
I think that might be cool. Where did you get it from? Was it passed down from your grandfather?
I got it online.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
I know. I knew it wasn't. Just goading you. I don't know. It could be cool.
Yeah, they're neat. It's fun to play, but it's so loud.
That might be an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Or when the neighbors are hooping and hollering.
Uh-huh.
Just go out there with your fucking bagpipes.
Uh-huh.
That would be so cool, actually. Of all the things we've fantasized about retaliating, the bagpipes is my favorite idea that I had. It's my favorite idea.
They're pretty loud.
I think the police would come because another neighbor
would be like, this is too
much.
Crazy.
These people are just escalating too much. What's it going to be next? A full brass band.
I feel sorry for my parents' neighbors when I was younger playing the bagpipes.
Please. Why couldn't you just give them a set of drums?
We had those too. We had that too.
Was it to retaliate against that neighbor?
No,
with the dog?
Just wanted to learn how to play stuff.
But maybe your parents were like,
a guitar. And
your parents were like, let's get him all the noisiest instruments. He doesn't need to know.
And a recorder and a.
Oh, the recorder's the best.
I had a penny whistle, but then Emmanuel played it with his nose once, and I was like, you can have it.
You snort it, you own it.
No, he was blowing out of his nose into it.
Yeah, that's true. The opposite. Ew.
It's fine.
What a putz.
It was only like
I think he's usually a reasonable, nice fellow.
It was only like $6. So. Yeah.
Gross.
The most expensive instrument was definitely the drum set. Everything
How much
else
was that?
Was pretty cheap.
Oh, even the bagpipes were cheap?
The bagpipes were quite cheap.
Oh.
It was like I'm pretty sure it was like $120 for them.
Oh.
And I mean, it was all like made out of decent material. I mean, it was rosewood, which I guess is like the cheapest kind of wood, but they held up.
And how much was the drum set?
I don't remember exactly. I think it might have been around like $3. But the violin was $50.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can get good cheap instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else you want to cover?
I don't think so. I think we've
grossed people out and disturbed them enough.
Yeah, a lot. There's really just a lot of fat in things like cake mixes and, crayons.
I think that's just become so normal. It's anything that has to do with a butt that is just like too far. What you've done is too far.
Oh, and Guinness beer contains a chemical found in fish bladders.
You should get closer to the mic.
Isinglass.
Is it the only place you can get it, or can they synthetically,
I think it uses the actual chemical found in fish bladders. I don't think it uses a synthetic. They say isinglass, which is a chemical found in fish bladders, gathers stray yeast cells during the fermenting process and solidifies them into a mass which settles on the bottom of the barrel for removal.
Is that the one that gives? I thought there was something that was used for beer, and that maybe that was it, where it actually gives it the yellow kind of hue. I was looking some up last night.
Oh, that's like a deliberate thing. That's not just
for some beer.
Oh,
I think It might have been that chemical. Good stuff. These poor sea creatures, for sure.
Beer has the highest number of, I've heard at least, that beer has the highest amount of allowed, like,
animal parts, insect
contaminants.
Parts?
So yeah, in any of that, it's the highest allowed amount. Which
is that because of the fermenting process, or is is beer fermented?
Yeah.
Or the yeast?
Yeah, beer ferments.
Kills stuff, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Look at me just shooting in the dark, science-wise.
I think you're probably right, though. That's probably why. Alcohol.
All this talk about gross stuff being used in candy makes me want to go have a candy now. That's like the opposite of what it should be, huh?
Yeah.
That's how smart I am. So I'm going to go have a truffle now.
Smart, or maybe you're just adventurous.
I did eat a cricket in Mexico. I did eat a seasoned cricket. But they're so, like...
How was that?
Crunchy. I knew it was just going to be like a crunchy thing. I couldn't eat something that was squishy. I don't think I could eat a grub. Or like a bulbous spider.
I could eat a
I couldn't eat a scorpion either.
If it wasn't going to pop.
Yeah.
I think if it popped, that would be game over for me. I would
game
say,
over? Like, what would you do? Kill yourself?
No, I would say if this is life now, I'm just going to eat plants. I'm just going to find plants to eat and, I'll find protein anywhere, literally anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. I'll eat my own arm. Mm-hmm. I got another one.
Or my toes. Who needs toes? Nobody needs toes.
I think they help you stand up straight.
Fair enough.
Balance. You could probably do away with your pinky, but that wouldn't get you very far.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of it would. You need something more sustainable.
I told you.
I'd eat the crunchy bugs.
I told you, butt cheeks. We could eat each other's butt cheeks. Assuming we both made it.
But you need them to sit.
Just lay down on your face instead.
And you need them to, like, cover your,
Your hole?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to be crude and,
You usually are. No, you're not. You were talking about beaver anus, that was pretty crude.
Yeah, but, that was part of the episode.
That you brought up, that you decided.
Well, on that, I heard from MBM Bam. Mm-hmm. So that one I didn't know about before them. I'm so sad that it's in one of my favorite candies.
They'll probably phase it out. They can make it synthetically. I don't understand why they would still be using it at all.
I don't know. It's made in they're made in Turkey. So maybe they're just more classic with their candy making there. I don't know. More traditional. Although if you wanted to be ultra traditional, you'd probably just use the actual fruit that it's supposed to be flavored after. Right?
Yeah. But it's a candy that mimics a fruit.
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to preserve that flavor or if it's even possible.
I don't know. These are questions to which we'll probably never know the answers. One of life's great mysteries.
It's probably best to just eat raspberries and blackberries.
Yeah. Well, definitely after tasting those candies, I would decide that anyway.
Come on, they're good.
They're freaking nasty.
Come on.
I didn't realize what it was, and then I ate it, and I was like, oh, I remember these from my childhood when I was scarred.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, knowing what's in them now, I'm a little bit...
Yeah. If I ever thought I'd give them another chance, I won't.
It's disappointing.
All right. I'm sorry.
Well, on that note...
Yeah. Happy...
Easter.
Nope. No. Happy...
Christmas.
This week. Okay.
Hanukkah. Kwanzaa.
Bye.
Bye.